What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? We gotta talk about this double slit experiment thing. Uh, so, I think I'm done analyzing the double slit experiment. I think I'm finally done analyzing it. Maybe. We'll find out. But, uh, so, let me just show you. Alright, so I've got a piece of tape on my laser so I can hold the button down. So let's hold the button down for me. And I've got my experiment set up right here. Piece of paper. It's the the exact same piece of paper I showed you in the previous videos. The two holes, 1 millimeter holes, 3 millimeter width of space, 1.5 millimeter beam. Okay. Man, it's bright. See if I can get it right directly in the center. Alright, so when you do this, it does in fact. Alright, so I've got it going through, right? You can see it's directly in the center of the two slits. And you see it makes a weird, makes a weird pattern. And it's kind of hard to show on the camera, but you get in close enough. You get in close enough, and that turning, by the way, is me turning the lens on the camera. It's not the light moving itself. It's kind of hard to show, but there is in fact like a scattered pattern, like some sort of, I don't want to say dotted, but like you get in close enough, and there are ripples. There are in fact ripples in here. It's just kind of hard to show on this small scale. So, right? So it is in fact showing ripples in the light, right? Let's analyze further. We can turn it off. Let me show you more about this laser. So I have been looking at this laser a little bit more, and you can see this little cap right there at the end of the laser, right here. See that little seam? So I showed you before, you can take this whole thing off, right? This whole piece, and that's the lens. And that's the lens right there, right? You see, there's the lens. You see it bending the light. You can see it, yeah. So this little cap moves the lens, I discovered. You can unscrew, and you can literally change the size of the laser. So it's normally really tiny. It's 1.5 millimeters, right? I haven't measured this one yet, but see how much bigger it is now? Should be quite noticeably larger. I'll pull it out as far as I can without. See it getting bigger? You can see the cone that the beam is. The beam is making a cone now. The point and apex down here, and it's getting bigger as it goes out. So the beam is making a cone now. You see how big that is? It gives you a warning But let's do it anyway. Let's take this lens off. We're gonna take this lens off, and we're gonna do it again. So that there's nothing in the way between the laser and the wall. The only thing that should be in the way of the laser and the wall is this piece of paper, right? That would make it even more accurate and scientific, right? You put less things in the way. So when you do it like this, you take the laser off. Back to this, I've shown you this before, the little crystal in there. And you do this again. Look how big that is. Huge. When there's no lens, it's huge. It's like a few inches or more. That's like, you know what I mean? So we'll do it again. And you already see it on the camera actually, right there. It's so the lens the lens is no longer in the way. And there is no longer, there's no more crazy pattern. There's no more dottedness. There's no more there's nothing. It's just making, it's just mimicking the two holes in the paper. So like if you zoom in, you get in really close here again. You can see within the space within here, you can see there are kind of remember I showed you the diagram I showed you of it making straight lines through the holes. That's what it's showing now. It's showing there are little lines in here. There's nothing happening out here. This is it hitting the paper and like doing weird stuff because that's what it's going through. But like if you look where it's actually shining through the paper, there are in fact there are a couple lines going up and down, and it's those lines that I showed you in the drawing. It's making patterns from where it's hitting the paper and where it's really difficult to show because it's glaring in the camera, but I'm calling it here. I cannot recreate. I'm just unable. Look, I'm actually watching. Look here. Hold on. Actually, I just noticed this. Let me show you this. I didn't see this before. We'll show this on the camera. Do you see the beam splitting right there? So like, it's going through. Do you see where it's split in half right there? Can you see that? That didn't help. There it is. You see where it's split in half right there? That's all it's doing. Because there are two holes in the paper. So it's making two, it's reflecting that, it's just mimicking that on the wall. I cannot find reason to believe that light is a wave. I simply cannot recreate what they show online, what they show in the videos, in all of the experiments. I'm simply not able to do it. And I'm doing exactly what they do in the videos. You put a laser through two holes. That's the whole experiment. I wish it would have picked that up a little bit better on the camera, but it's going through two holes, and then it's making, since it's like, you know, because light bends around things, right? Light, I'll show you this in another video. Light can bend around things, but it is not a wave. It travels in a straight line, and it deviates when it hits something that changes its direction. And that's what I was trying to show you in there. It's hitting the paper, and it's bending around the paper to make those little lines in there, but it's traveling at a straight line. It's traveling as a straight line, but light bends around things. It can bend around things. It is not a wave. I cannot recreate. I simply cannot recreate what they show in the videos, where it's like this dotted, like, perforated line. It makes no sense. Why would it go through and then like that? Why would it do that? Why would it do that? I can't even get that. I can't even get that. I tried it with a piece of hair one time. I tried shining it through a piece of hair one time, and got that effect. Which means that the hair, piece of hair, piece of hair, there it is. Do you see that? Did you see it? It happened. But it happens with a piece of hair. It happens with, you know why it happens with a piece of hair? Because a piece of hair is translucent. Here's my piece of hair. You see it there? You'll see it. Dude, you see it split there for a second? See if I can hold it. There it goes. You see it? You get that effect, and it creates that perforated line that you see in the videos. So when you're watching those videos, this is what they're doing. They're doing something like this. They're not doing it they're not shining it through two slits. When they show you shining it through two slits, and then they show you another cutaway to up here, you have to think about these video edits. You have to think about these video edits, because look, I'm getting the same result. There's my piece of hair with a piece of hair and not two slits. You get what I'm saying here? That means it's shining through the hair and splitting like this. I did that with a piece of hair. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? I got the effect with a piece of hair and not two slits. I got the effect with something that is translucent and reflects light. Does that make sense? A piece of hair is translucent and reflects light because you can shine light through it, and then it like a prism, That's why it does this. So like they're fooling you. Light is not a wave. I literally am unable to recreate it with two slits. I'm done with the double slit experiment after this video. I'm done fooling with something that should be obvious. It's light. It travels in a straight line, and you can change how the light acts. That's why this lens is here, and that's why it made that weird pattern when I shined it through with the lens, but it didn't make the pattern without the lens. That implies that this lens was making that pattern. That implies that this lens is the lens of people's lasers, are what they're using to fool people. They've figured out something about something in the real world, and they've told you to understand it in a wrong way. Please don't be fooled by this stuff. Please experiment. Please investigate when you were told about something by an expert. Anybody can claim to be an expert. Anybody can claim to be anything. Okay? Anybody can tell you anything they want. You have to decide whether or not to test it and determine if it's real. Like I showed you with the hair and these two slits that don't make that pattern. I'll see you next time, guys. Light is not a wave. Please don't be fooled. Don't walk around asleep.